In 2010, Marina Abramović took over MOMA in New York for her performance, The Artist is Present. Visitors could sit opposite her, meeting her gaze and feeling her energy. For her new performance at London's Serpentine Gallery, Abramović is taking things one step further, removing the chairs and simply wandering among the 160 capacity audience, sometimes touching, sometimes interacting, for a duration of 512 hours. We spoke to her about why, for her, presence is so important, what she expects from this long-durational performance, and why it leaves her feeling even more vulnerable than her early 1970s rhythm works. During the press conference, Abramović talked more about what visitors can expect, how she prepares for performances, both mentally and physically, how the work will be documented, and why she is doing it.
This is crazy what I try to do. I'm trying to create charismatic space from the empty space. Excuse me, that's not easy. And I thought, you know, in 70s I made this performance called Rhythm Zero, when I had all these objects on the table, including pistol, and a statement that if you want, you can kill me. But, you know, I was young and foolish. But, and then I understood the public really can kill you if you give the opportunity. So I understood that you can get the worst out of people or the best out of the people, depends on your attitude. And if your attitude is really positive and you generate this energy field, I hope that we bring the most positive attitude of the people, and interaction is fine.
I just wanted to pick up on something you said earlier, because you mentioned Rhythm Zero.
Yes.
But you've also said that you feel that this performance will make you much more vulnerable than that.
It's not it's not that performance was I was very vulnerable, which I'm interesting. The difference between that performance and now, that the other performance, because of these other objects who can also give pain and pleasure, people pick up with pain, and they really could kill me. And I understood that I can really provoke in a human being the good side and the bad side. In this piece, I really wanted to provoke the best side possible, but at the same time, the only way to win this piece in the British public is to be vulnerable, to be really there for them and open and accessible in every minute, you know, because I'm not breaking away to have a food, or I'm not, maybe go to pee, but that's it, what I'll do. But I'm really there for them all this period of time, so whatever they want, they have me. And this is something that artists mostly don't do. They like to make the work, put in the gallery, and be very protective in their own space. And to be accessible and open and there, that's the difference.
So for you, being present is really a key feature?
Yes, yeah.
And you don't believe that, because obviously you're training people up with your Abramović method, and you've got your guards here, you don't believe that it would be possible to recreate a performance without?
You know, this is of course additional help, because we need all this kind of to create energy field. But a part of this, once I'm not there, you know, the Abramović method will be the only thing that stays, and I'm really working with people. But these guards never been 3 months through this process, so I think after 3 months being with me, they will be able to you know, if we ever have to recreate this piece without me, we'll be able to, the team to, you know, do so. But they have to go through the process themselves also, because they've never been there. I've never been in this situation myself either. And that, you know, is so different than any of my work before, because every work before I had a concept, I had a precise the instructions how it's going to be, and I know, you know, from the beginning to the end. And just the idea to remove all that, it's the most frightening thing. But I have to do it. I have to prove myself that everything I learned these last 40 years, I have to see if I can really do it as I claim I can.
So is this a culmination for you?
Yes, it's a combination of everything. Lots of retreats, lots of, you know, interaction with different cultures, being with the shamans, with the Aborigines, with the Tibetans, with the, you know, Indonesians, fire workers. I mean, I name it, I've done it, you know. And now I want to know, do I really learn something?
Do you believe that visitors, if they spend enough time and are open enough, might pick up on some of this energy and take it away with them?
But also, you see, it's not just up to me, it's up to them too, because visitors complete the work. You know, in performance, it's Performance can't happen without audience. Audience chemistry between audience and the performer is the key. If this chemistry works, then the piece works. And to create that chemistry, it's really my job.
And obviously there'll be surprises because you haven't got a clue who's going to turn up.
No, and everything. And also, it's also very difficult because every time you have different people, because, the maximum is 160, but maybe, 20 go out, 20 new come in, they have no idea what's happening. So how, every time you deal with new energy, that's a bloody hell, because it's one thing that you have 160 from morning till evening, then you
Yes.
build up the space. But we are not doing that. Happen. But to me, this process of picking up, holding very gently, really holding the hands, really putting the fingers, I love this idea of, like really in between, holding it, just first the hold, and then, this touch and slow walk and some kind of togetherness. Also when I wanted to open, and I just wanted to, this whole thing with holding the hand, and really transfer energy, standing there and be there for you, And then when I leave, then you really have to engage yourself in this emptiness. This wall can be a movie screen for you, if you want to.
No, it's amazing.
So it's simple, but simplicity is always the most difficult. It took me 4 years to get to this idea. 4 years. I didn't perform 4 years. And in artist is present, there was 2 chairs and table. After second months, I removed the table. Now I remove the chairs. So it's like, oh my God, how I could not get this right away. But it was not possible till I get the vision of what we're going to do. And let's see what happens.
Yeah.
It's really huge science question, and I can't answer. And I can't answer, and that's why I'm in panic. But at the moment I start, I know the panic will go away because I will be in that moment, in the present, and then nothing happens anymore. It doesn't matter anything anymore. I am going through this whole thing.
Are you aware of the people, or are you just in your own
No, of course.
space?
Not that I'm aware of people, I feel people so strongly. Even if I go do a lecture, if somebody stand up and go to the bathroom, I'm looking for him to come back.
Okay.
If he didn't come back, that means my lecture is not going well.
Okay.
There's so many artists say that they don't care about the public and they get into their own selves, and that's it. For me, public is absolutely the most important. Martha Graham, the great dancer, she said, wherever a dancer stand is holy ground. I said, wherever public stand is holy ground. They're for me the key to the work.
Marina Abramović, 512 Hours, will run at the Serpentine Gallery until the 25th of August. Entry is free, but on a first-come, first-served basis.